The new moon happening in Cancer that only happens once a year is happening on June 25th this year, and it's got some pretty interesting things going along with it. Some themes you may not expect, so let's go over them. Hi, I am Crystal and Sophia. I'm your friendly astrological magician. So I'm going to talk to you and show you the chart for this new moon. We'll talk about some of the astrological details. I'll explain with the visuals as we go. And then after, I will show you some ways in which you might be able to apply this using folk magic or usual manifesting techniques so that you can make the most of this new moon in Cancer for this year. Let's get started. Okay, so now we can see here in Luna that this is a quite busy new moon occurring in Cancer on, as we see, on the 25th of June at around 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And so I say it's busy because at that time we will have, it's roughly sunrise. The ascendant is here at 12 degrees and the sun has risen. So the sun rose probably within the last hour or so of this of so the sun rose probably within the last hour or so, given how long it takes for things to move on the chart. And we can see that the perfection of this new moon is the sun and the moon conjunct at 4 degrees and 7 minutes of Cancer. Now, normally we would go here and we'll make the moon the focal point of this chart. And you can already see there are some major players also having a say in this conversation of this new moon. And so the new moon is in the sign of Cancer, which is ruled by the moon herself. So the moon is in her domicile, ruling this new moon. She will be moving away from the sun and begin increasing in light, which is where in manifesting you get the idea of new beginnings, or in folk magic, we get the idea of planting things or doing things that are focused on growth and abundance and increase, because the moon is increasing in light from this point on until the next full moon that we will have. So the moon is conjunct the sun. She is separating from Jupiter at 3 and 32 minutes, 3 degrees of Cancer and 32 minutes. She's at 4 degrees and 7 minutes, which means her next application is going to be to Mars, who is just a couple minutes away. And so this is the context that we're working with. And also close by, of course, still within a bit of an orb, we have the moon squared by Saturn and Neptune. So the square in this case is an overcoming square. The moon is on the ascendant and Saturn has control of the sky. Saturn is overcoming the moon by square. So there's this pressure from Saturn that we are feeling at this time. Saturn, of course, representing regulations, rules, the things that we have to abide by due to obligation, as well as to age and those other things. So the things that are sort of like these inevitabilities that we have to work around in our personal lives because they are part of a greater structure or picture. And so with that, we're feeling the pressure of this, and it's, uncertain things that are happening. We might be feeling like we don't really know what the rules are or what they will become. And so we're working within this uncertainty and instability. Now, Jupiter is nearby. The moon's last conversation was with Jupiter. So we're working with this idea that we want to feel resourced, we want to feel abundant, and we have this energy with us because Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. So having Jupiter right there is actually bonifying this moon, even though Jupiter's condition could be better if Jupiter were further away from the sun and out of the rays where we could actually see Jupiter, and Jupiter would be more visible and therefore could see us. If you think about the glare of the sun making it hard for you to see each other, that's kind of what Jupiter's going through at the moment. And so the moon is moving towards Mars and moving toward this energy of, it's a sextile, so it's positive energy. It's useful energy. So we can see we're moving towards the energy of action and of decision and decisiveness. And so Mars, especially in Virgo, is kind of giving the energy of how can I make things more efficient? What do I need to feel prepared for things? And how can I give myself that kind of energy? Archetypally and metaphorically, Mars in Virgo gives big prepper energy. So it's like, is this the time I should be canning my food? Is this the time I should make sure I'm buying things in bulk? We're coming into a time of year where weather is unpredictable. We are in a social climate that is unpredictable. And so it is a good time to just say, if there are things that concern me, how can I be prepared so that I can feel more peace of mind with that? Ultimately, the moon in Cancer wants to emphasize healing, wants to emphasize community, wants to emphasize surrounding yourself with people that you trust, that not only do you contribute all of your love and affection and energy to them, but they give it back. So this is a really good time to be super discerning about who those people are for you. Who is your found family, or who is your family? Who feels like family for you? And how can that be something that you lean more into and participate in ways, again, that feel natural, comfortable, and like you are seen and understood and respected and accepted, and all of those wonderful things that we associate with an aligned community. So that is a lot of what we're looking at with the astrology side. And my general interpretation for this would be moving from comfort into community action, moving from this, I have everything I need. Now that I have everything I need from Jupiter, right? What am I going to move into? What actions do I want to take? What changes can I be a part of that's going to help me create the community in safety and in ideals that I would like to see? Take small steps. Don't overburden yourself. Don't overwhelm yourself. Remember, we are dealing with a lot of change right now. We're dealing with a lot of, I don't really know what the other side of this looks like, because with that Saturn Neptune situation, that's going to be something that is effective over the next more than a year that we'll be working with, that'll perfect next spring and then begin separating. And so we have time to do this. Today is a good day to set your intentions for that, to decide, what do my ideals look like? What does my community look like? What does my family feel like? So that I can recognize that as part of my value system moving forward. Signs that might notice this a little bit more than usual is anyone who is part of that cardinal axis with your rising sign, maybe even your sun sign and your moon sign. So if your rising especially, but also check your sun and moon, are in the signs of Cancer, of Aries, of Libra, and of Capricorn, this might be something that shows up a little bit more noticeably for you, because it is happening in an angular position of your life. We're all still going to experience this new moon, but it is something that shows up more front and center for angular positions. Also, if you happen to know any of your time lords or the planets that are in charge of the current timing that is going on for you in astrology, if your moon is a time lord, or if Cancer is activated by a timing technique such as annual perfections, then you may also notice this a little bit more front and center. And if you don't know what your time lords are or anything like that, schedule a consultation with me. I will study your chart before we talk, and I will give you the entire download of information for your year ahead and which planets you are working with more closely this year. So, what can we do magically to really align ourselves with the energy that's going on? We know that this moon is saying, hey, it's time to really align with your community. So, this is a time to acknowledge that you deserve community, that you deserve reciprocal love and affection and recognition in your communities. And so, a great affirmation for this is, I am part of this community. This community being the whole world, this community being your local town or city or wherever you're located, this community being your online group chats or communities that you find that you feel yourself in, where you can be yourself. Those are your communities, and they come in many shapes and forms. You can go and visit people. My community is spread across the country and the world. I go and visit them as often as I can. If you're looking for a way to find community in sacred alignment, we will have the Sacred Spaces gathering again in Richmond, Virginia, right here where I am. And that will be in August. You can check out the sacredspacesgathering.com, sacredspacesgathering.com. I'll put the link down in the info below so you can see that opportunity to come and meet tons of people who are going to likely align with you, that you'll be able to make friends with and have that sense of community no matter where you're located. I used to be someone who was in a very isolated location, and it was incredible for me to be able to find those kinds of people. And I really want to be able to pay that forward. And I'm grateful for this opportunity to do so. So, how can you apply this? The best way to apply this energy is to find spaces where you feel like you can give and receive energy in an equal exchange. So, where do you feel comfortable? Where do you feel supported? And where can you give comfort and support? It's again that equal exchange of energy is definitely something that you can look for. So, where are you able to be yourself fully, be seen for that, be appreciated for it to the level that you need to feel, and also be able to give back to that community? Where is that reciprocal exchange of energy for you? Consider it. Again, it's a new moon. We've got time. This will evolve over the course of 6 months and then a year. So, you'll see it grow grow, and you do not have to rush yourself. You do not have to become anything you are not. But I do hope that you feel aligned. I hope that it is easy for you to think of the people who make you feel incredible. And if not, or even if on top of that you would like to find more, please feel free to join us at Sacred Spaces or at any of the trips that Emily and I take. We prioritize creating an amazing spiritual community. And so that is what our focus is, especially in this time. If we can help you out with that, you can do that. If you're looking online for opportunities, you can also join my Modern School of Ancient Wisdom Patreon, where we have an incredible community learning, growing, and understanding magic and astrology all the time. It's fantastic, and you are welcome. I hope you have a wonderful new moon in Cancer.